Part C, seals and gaskets. Seals and gaskets are used throughout the aircraft plumbing system to prevent leaks for the two components that are joined together. The material from which the seals are manufactured varies depending on the fluid of the gas being conducted with the operating with the pressure range of the system. Using proper type of the seals and exercise and care during the installation of the two of the most important phases of the plumbing. The lack of the care during this phase of the tightness is one of the most infrequent causes of system failure for the leaks. In this part of the type of the seals and gaskets used in the aircraft plumbing system and are discussing their capabilities, advantages, limitations. Installation procedures are presented. Figure 20 shows the seals used in plumbing systems. O-rings, V-ring, cup seals, U-ring, oil seal. Seal case, rubber seal, and spring. Seals. These seals packing the hydraulic system are manufactured with rubber, leather, Teflon, metal with a combination of Aipd. The two types of the rubber natural thin synthetics are used for the making of the hydraulic seals. However, one synthetic rubber seal can be used with a mineral-based hydraulic fluid. Examples of some of the different kinds of seals used in the plumbing system are shown in Figure 220, discussed in the following paragraphs. Caution: under no circumstances must seals or gaskets be reused after they have been removed from the surface, even if their removal was only incidental to the disassembly of a component. O-rings. If any of the aircraft with O-ring, with the most commonly used the type of the hydraulic seal is designed to control the leakage against the pressure coming with any of the direction, can be used whether there is an either rotative, linear, relatively movement between the parts. The O-ring can also be used between the non-moving parts to eliminate the leakage, such as joint between the two parts of the housing. When used in this manner, the O-ring is called the O-ring gasket. The backup rings, when the pressure to be retained by the O-ring exceeds 1500 psi, the backup ring is used in the groove along with the O-ring. Backup rings prevent the O-ring material from extruding into the clearance gap between the seal surfaces. Extrusion tending to cover the moving parts of the binding with the O-ring seal with the fail of the particles of the O-ring seal to contamination of the fluid. Backup the rings can also be used to lower the pressure system to extend the O-ring life. When installed, the backup the ring is placed on the side of the O-ring not subjected to the pressure. In this case, where the O-ring is subject to the pressure from both sides, two backup rings are used, one on each side of the O-ring. V-ring. The use of the V-ring is rather limited to the hydraulic system. However, they are used in some shocks and struts, and the V-ring can be sealed in any one direction. Can be used to seal the surfaces regardless of whether there is a movement between the parts. The U-rings, similar to V-rings, is designed to function. U-rings are used to seal pistons and shafts on some master brake cylinders. Cup seals, another type of the seals used frequently, master brake cylinders and cup seals. They are effectively in control leaking on only in one direction. When installed, the lip of the two cup, they must be facing the fluid to be contained. Oil seals. Complete seals made from both rubber and metal are called oil seals. They have used for the seal of the hydraulic pump of the motor drive shaft of the outer body. The case is made from brass seals and force fitted with the component of the housing of the inside metal called the lip rubber seal and a spring. The rubber seal is securely anchored against the movement of the metal case. The spring of the encircles the lip, holding it firmly into the surface of the seal. It is commonly referred to as a garlock seal. During the installation of the housing must be free of the foreign matter of the burrs, and seals must be treated properly, squarely for the proper special tools. Wiper seals. Scrapers and wiper seals are made with metal, leather, or felt with the use of the clean lubricant with the exposed portion of the piston shaft. When installed with operating properly, wiper seal prevent the dirt from entering the system and aid in preventing the piston shaft from binding. Installing seals. Prior to using, all seals must be examined to ensure that they are made of the correct material in the proper shape at the size and free from nicks, cracks, rough spots, or other defects immediate prior to the assembly, cleaning, and lubrication of the seals and contact surfaces with the operation fluid of the system. When installing the seals, care must be taken that they are not stretched and distorted. Any twists or strains the seal can be lead to any early failure and promotes preventive gently by working the seal into the place. Gaskets. A gasket is a piece of material placed between the two parts where there is no movement. The gasket is used for the filler to compensate with the regularity of the surface of the two mating and parts of the permitting possible leakage. Main difference of the material are used for the making gaskets for use in the hydraulic system. The gasket may be made with a treated paper, the synthetic rubber, the copper, or aluminum. O-ring gaskets. The most common type of the gasket used in the aircraft with the hydraulic system is the O-ring. Within use for the gasket with the O-ring, the same advantage as when used for the seal is explained as the previous paragraph. The crush washer. The second most commonly used for the gasket is the crush washer using a hydraulic system made from aluminum copper. The fittings used for these washers have concentric grooves. The ridges bear against the crush of the washer, and these grooves are rigid seal the washer tighten and fitting as connecting parts and tighten together. Fabricating gaskets. Some type of the gaskets can be field fabricated as long as the bulk material conforms with the required materials and military specification. When cut replacement gasket for the bulk material, the most important consideration exact duplication of the thickness of the original gasket. Installing gaskets. Like seals and gaskets must be examined before installation to ensure their serviceability. The component surfaces of the connected must be thoroughly cleaned. During assembly, care must be taken not to crimp, twist of the gaskets to untighten the components of the gasket must be compressed into the threads when they cannot be cut and damage or block mating surface from the beginning being flush. Storing and seals of gaskets. Seals and gaskets must be stored in accordance with the specification outlined with the hoses and hose assembly in the previous paragraph. By the way of the review of the specification required of the seals of the gasket to be stored in the cool, dark, dry place, they must be protected from dirt and heat, strong air currents, dampness, petroleum products, electrical motors, and equipment given off ozone. Summary. The seals and gaskets are used in the aircraft plumbing system to prevent leakage of the two components that join together the fluid conducted with the operating pressure of the system to determine the type of the seals or gaskets to be used with the material to be used the manufactured. Once the seal or gasket has been removed from the surface, it must be never be reused, even if the removal was only incidental to disassembly of the component. If the hydraulic system seal manufactured with the rubber, leather, felt with the copper, the paper, Teflon, metal, the U, the O-ring of the most, with the widely U, the hydraulic seal with effective controlling pressure with the coming from any direction for the use where there is either a linear or linear or rotative motion. Backup rings are used with O-rings as means of preventing O-rings extrusion, prolonged O-ring life. When system pressure exceeds 1500 psi, other types of seals are used. Hydraulic systems used are V-rings, U-rings, cup seals, oil seals, wiper seals. These are special seals used to contain the fluid and prevent leaks in various components of the aircraft plumbing system. All seals must be inspected for serviceability prior to the installation. Care must be taken not to damage them during assembly. All seals must be placed in two components, whether they are not relatively movement is termed. The gasket is functional to compensate for any irregularity of the surface of the two mating parts, thus preventing leaks. Crush washers, O-ring gaskets are the most common type of the gaskets used in the aircraft hydraulic system. If the gasket is to be field fabricated, ensure the exact thickness for the original gasket is duplicated. Gaskets, like seals, must be examined prior to installation to ensure the serviceability during the assembly do not exceed the recommended torque value of the components. Over-tightening is likely to crimp the gasket and compress it into the threads of the component and hence break the seal. When stored, seal gaskets must be protected with excessive heat and dampness, air currents, and dirt, petroleum products, and equipment emitting zones. And that was the complete, that's the last slide of your basic hydraulic plumbing, Subcourse AL0907 Edition A, Airman Institute Professional Development.